Welcome, everybody, and thank you for being here to this nutrition reset and customer support Zoom. Our goal is to support you and celebrate your journey and answer any questions that you have along the way. So, whether you've been doing this already for a really long time or you're just checking it out, this is for you. We're going to be talking about the ULT lifestyle, which stands for Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. This is a program that's meant to nourish, detoxify, and repair the body. And even though most of you here today are already on this program, I'm going to describe what all the components of this program are for, just in case you're a little unsure. This is going to take like 5 minutes. So as you guys all know, it starts with the power shake. This is our nutrition shake. This is being taken twice a day. So you guys all have this blender. So you put it in the blender, you make your shake twice a day. Just follow the instructions on this. This is your greens. It's got spirulina, kamut wheatgrass. It's got a lot of nutrition so that you get satiated during the day and you won't be hungry. So you take that twice a day. And along with it, you're taking super aminos. So this is essentially protein that's pre-digested, and 99% of this protein is usable for the body as compared to like 20 to 40% of most of the protein that we eat. The rest of it turns to catabolic waste. This is going to go straight into your bloodstream within 23 minutes, and it's going to be utilized for peptides, which eventually be hormones, and even muscle tissue and things like collagen, brain matter, ligaments, tendons, skin. This is amazing, especially if you're into exercise or even just walking your dog or anti-aging. This is an amazing product. You take this twice a day as well with the Power Shake. And if you're finding that you don't like swallowing these pills, so twice a day is 5 capsules. If you don't like swallowing these pills, you can also put them in the blender with the Power Shake. The third thing that you're also taking with your serving of Power Shake is Biomedic. So Biomedic is one of our most powerful products. This is the only solution to glyphosate, which means that it actually pulls out up to 74.5% of glyphosate from the human body. Glyphosate is the active ingredient in Roundup. It's essentially an herbicide. This is also proven to reduce C-reactive protein from the body, 75%, which is essentially the biomarker for inflammation. This also is proven to increase intestinal immunity by 50%. And along with everything else that's not proven, so those are actually, we have tests to prove it. It also does a lot of other things that I'm not going to say out loud what it does, but people have a lot of benefits to things that are wrong with them. And it's a combination of the nutrition, and this is detoxifying a lot of things out of the body. So with these 3, you take that twice a day. During days 11 to 20, so this might get a little confusing if you just kind of opened up your box and you started consuming it without looking at any of the paperwork that came with it or talking to the person that recommended it. These are parasite herbs. It's called Super Cleansar. So you take days 1 to 10 off before consuming these. And that's just to ramp yourself up, because the greens alone are detoxifying. And then on top of that, we've got Biomedic, which is opening up a lot of your cells and clearing out lifelong toxins from being in the air, being in the water, being in the food supply. So we're letting your body sort of get assimilated to that for 10 days. And on day 11 to 20, we start parasite herbs. Because when we start cutting up and clearing out parasites, it also is another toxin load on the body. So we wait so the body's not overwhelmed on day 1. If you already started taking on day 1, it's okay. You can take time off to day 11 and then restart. So late 11 to 20, we take parasite herbs, and then we take a 20-day break so that any eggs that are left over hatch. And then in the second month, day 11 through 20, we then take the parasite herbs again. So we got a 20-day break in there. Day 11 through 20, on month 1 and in month 2. And then before bed, every single night, we take a serving of apothecary. This is to increase your REM sleep, which is where all of the regeneration is happening when you're sleeping. A lot of us sleep, but maybe we're not actually getting into deep, restful sleep, where a lot of the melatonin is produced in the pineal gland, and it goes in and recalibrates your entire body. We really have to get into REM sleep, which is when you're dreaming. So many people haven't dreamed in their entire life, and they start taking this on the first night they're dreaming, or they haven't slept in 14 years, 40 years. I've heard crazy stories. On the first night, they're sleeping right away with this product. This is nature's essentially melatonin, but it's natural. The stuff you get at the store is way too artificial and way too mega dosed for our body. It's actually on the side of like maybe not good for you. This is from nature. So it's just got sour tart cherries. That's organic, super dense. This is a clear bottle, even though it looks black. Super dense cherries. This also has tremendous amount of antioxidants. So in the ORAC value, which is how we measure antioxidants, this has as much antioxidants as 6 cups of blueberries. So there's a lot of antioxidants, which helps your body, especially with anti-aging. And that's essentially the day. We take a shake twice a day with these 3 items, and then cherry before bed. And then on days 11 through 20, we're taking our parasite cleanser. And this is nourishing the body, detoxifying the body, and giving it the components to rebuild and repair itself. And when it comes to health, that's really what we need: a functional diet that nourishes, detoxifies, and repairs. So essentially how this entire program is designed is to champion your own body's abilities, so that when your body has an ability to perform as a human, it has a fighting chance versus anything. And I know that there's a lot of people here that are either just starting the program or have been on it a while. Does anybody like to share your experience on this program before we and guys, also ask questions that you may have as well. We're monitoring that. We'll get to questions. I know a lot of people, things come up. I love Biomedic. Had GERD for 14 years. Kiki's saying. Alexis, I'm going to ask you to unmute.
When I first started, I was having really bad skin issues on my face. I just from Pennsylvania to California, and I was out in the sun, and I got a really bad burn. And basically, my esthetician told me my skin was not hydrating anymore from the inside out. Pretty much like no matter what they did, the peels weren't working, and I had lines like forming on my forehead. And this is like 5 years ago. And then I remember doing my first transformation. And by the end of that month, in the first 30 days, I didn't change anything at all. I just did the program. And I went to see my esthetician again. And she goes, Alexis, your skin did a whole 360. It's like it's hydrated from the inside out. And I'm like, whoa, like literally, this is all I did was just take these superfoods, and my whole skin transformed. So ever since then, I've been on it. I've been feeling better than ever and glowing. Everybody always asks, like, what do I do? And I just say, I just take these superfoods. It's literally what I put in my body is my inner beauty secret.
Right. I like that even your esthetician was able to spot that there's something happening on the inside of your body. Because a lot of the times we think that it's cream, you know, the $80 cream that you have to like apply with like your pinky or ring finger and like go upwards, you know, like you're doing all this stuff to take care of the outside of your skin. But there's stuff going on the inside. Skin is like completely tied to the gut. And thank you, because that's a really quick turnaround in health. And I also watched you over a longer period of time have other profound changes as well.
Yeah, so many. That's just one.
Right, right. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you.
Carolina.
Hi guys. For me, it's been incredible because I used to struggle with a lot of food sensitivities. There were things that I could no longer eat that I grew up eating, like tomatoes and chocolate and garlic and dairy. Right, there was a lot of things that I grew up eating as Italian girl, and when I moved into the United States, I started having sensitivities to everything, and I had no idea it was linked to my gut health, like zero. And not only that, the food sensitivities was one part of it because emotionally I struggled with anxiety. I had a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress, a lot of overwhelming. And when I started on the program, I immediately within 90 days, I will say my food sensitivities went away. I was able to reintroduce foods that I could no longer digest before. My anxiety got better, which that alone was a game changer for me to perform better and in every area of my life. And my depression got better. I mean, I didn't know that 80% of our serotonin, which is our happy hormone, gets made in the gut. Zero idea. So the fact that I was able to really emotionally and mentally get better is huge, huge for me. And ever since I've been sharing this with my family because my mom went through menopause, she had hot flashes when she started taking the apothecary. She was able to sleep throughout the whole night. It literally changed my mom's life so for her hormones. So it's really been a game changer. I strongly recommend everyone to stay committed because it took me 90 days to start seeing like huge breakthroughs. And within 6 months, I felt like I was a whole new woman. So thank you, Ra.
Amazing. Yeah, it's much more than aesthetics, right? And you're saying like whole new women. That's why it's called the ultimate lifestyle transformation, because it's not ultimate body type transformation, it's ultimate lifestyle. We're really becoming, we're elevating into different life beings. Thank you for your share. Julie, can I unmute you? And thank you guys for the questions that are asking the questions.
Hey.
As I said, we'll get to those. Hi, Julie.
Hey, how's it going?
Amazing.
Um, good. I like the new look. So I was dealing with hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's, depression, fatigue. My adrenals were really tanked. In fact, I used to have anywhere sometimes from 2 to 3 double shots of espresso. We had an espresso machine in our house.
Oh, wow.
And I had tried everything. I'd been on medication for years for thyroid issues. And when I started learning about gut health and glyphosate, the pennies started to drop for me. And as you know, my other half found Raw on Instagram. And I decided to try the program, the Ultimate Lifestyle Transformation. I was very skeptical because I had tried many other things and had been left feeling very disappointed. And this was the first program. I remember after the first few days starting to feel different in my body. And even though I knew I had a long way to go because I'd been dealing with chronic illness for so many years, it was the first program I had done in my health journey that I really started to feel like the tide was turning in a positive direction. So what's really interesting is that as I did this program, and I did it diligently for 6 months because that was what my body needed. And to this day, almost 6 years later, I still do 2 shakes a day, one meal. I'm whole food plant-based. I don't eat any garbage, but this program helped me to get off caffeine. I kicked coffee for good. I never went back to it at the end of the program. I stopped drinking alcohol. I was like a weekend wine drinker. I liked my fancy wine. And so I gave that up, never went back to it. Just like totally lost my taste for it. That depression that I had been dealing with for years on end went away. I had such low energy and brain fog because of the hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's that most days I needed to take a nap. Well, I haven't needed to take a nap in the middle of the day in forever, right? Ever since I started on the program, I don't need midday naps like that. I don't have that afternoon crash. Energy went up. by the end of the 6 months, I was off the thyroid meds, never went back to it. Over 5 years, totally, completely medication free. It's just, it lives up to its name. It's truly the ultimate lifestyle transformation. It's simplified my nutrition. So I know that even this morning, as I was having my power shake, I was like, even if I just have this power shake and I had had my aminos a few minutes before I had my power shake. And I thought to myself, if all I do today is just have this power shake and I don't eat anything else, I know that I'm getting 97% of the macro and the micronutrients my body needs in the day. I mean, of course, we went out for a bike ride because it's beautiful today. And I came home and I made myself a post-workout shake with like banana as an MVP sport, but it's just such potent nutrition and it's so simple. It's so easy. And the longer someone does it, the more changes you feel. For me, like I've said this to Dave and Amy, like to their face, I've said if I was going to the moon, I would bring Purium superfoods with me because it really is literally the best nutrition on the planet. Nothing else like it. Nothing touches it. Nothing comes close. I'm a lifer. But yeah,
Yeah.
it's really changed my life in so many powerful ways. Yeah, I
Thank
can't
you.
imagine not having it.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And especially it's like those you didn't start the program to stop drinking coffee, right? But that was just one of the side effects that automatically happened. And everything else you shared was amazing. Guys, you don't have to stop drinking coffee or, as Julie said, alcohol. These aren't things that we recommend. It's going to be possibly something that your body starts to feel itself into, though. Your body's not going to be
Well, I
called.
just want to say, like, I just stopped craving it. I just stopped desiring it and wanting it. And I remember 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, we were vacationing in Barbados and I saw a coffee shop and I thought, you know what? Why don't I order myself an almond milk latte? And I ordered it. And as soon as I had one sip, I was like, oh my God, this tastes like trash. I just honestly didn't want it. And just like the other thing I want to say from a cost standpoint, like I remember what we used to spend on wine
Right.
and like uh, I remember one month I tallied up the receipts because we like to entertain and we'd have our friends over and we'd share fancy wine with them. I remember one month we had spent $1,000 on alcohol.
Yeah, it's no joke. I mean, stopping drinking for one day will pay for the entire program. Um, I mean,
Especially these days. This is before, like,
yeah.
everything's gone up exponentially in the last like almost 6 years. So we were spending $1,000 before the pandemic and all that stuff. But yeah,
Right.
it's huge.
Okay, thank you for sharing, Julie. Hey guys, also Julie mentioned that she was on this program. It's this twice a day program for 6 months. And the way that and you could 6 months, 2 years, twice a day, that's really up to you. The way the program's designed though is that you're for 90 days taking this more potent dose of 2 shakes a day with the capsules cherry before bed. And then after 90 days, it notches down to a maintenance dose. And then of course we have many other accessory products for like skin and hair and brain and joints and menopause and pineal gland. We've got a whole bunch of other accessory products that are really fun to try out as well. But that's going to be up to you to make that decision at the 90-day mark if you want to continue on with twice a day, as many people do, or notch down to once a day and start trying out what else we have. Lucy.
Hi, hi. Well, it's time to make a confession. I was doing the 90-day program, but I wasn't doing it the right way until I make the decision. I was taking the shakes, the super aminos, the biomedic, but not like the program says. Until a couple months ago, about 5 months ago, I decided that I was going to go the 90-day weight all the way. I lost 19 pounds and a lot of inflammation. Sometimes
Wow.
you don't know that you're a little bit overweight until you see the results. Sometimes you don't know that you have a lot of inflammation in your body until you see the picture of before and after. It was amazing. That dress, I bought it a long time ago. I wear it only one time and it was tied, the black dress. And now it fits better than before. And like, and the picture right here and the before, it's a lot of inflammation. Even Carolina, when Carolina saw me for the first time after a month in the program, she goes, Lucy, and your neck and your shoulders, look it over here in your face. I didn't know, I didn't know that I was a little bit overweight. And sometimes you don't know what you don't know until you see the picture before and after. So I did it for 90 days. And guess what? I just continue doing it because seems like I'm addicted to the shakes, 2 shakes a day. Sometimes I take 3. And I just did the cleanse out for 10 days, eliminate a lot of stuff. And anyway, I love it. And I love my new look. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, that's essentially the key, is to make sure that you're on the program. They're actually taking it as prescribed every single day. And it's really easy to just, it just goes into the shelf and you don't take it. I recommend people actually put everything on their counter so that they see it every single day. And guys, if you're loving the results that you're having and you'd like to get your next box paid for, if you refer 3 people to this transformation and help them out, just like we've heard from a lot of people on this call, like, this actually is a game changer for people. And you might know people that are going to bed every single night, staring at the ceiling, wondering how to get rid of some of the issues that they have. Or maybe they're an athlete and they're looking to perform at their top tier level of their sport. If you'd like to refer some people here, if you referred 3 people, you can get your next box paid for. Just talk to the person that invited you to the Zoom. We can tell you a little bit more about our referral program. It's super simple. You just invite them to next week's Zoom, essentially. Caro, do we have any questions? I did see one about cherries.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, there's a question about cherries. Angie's asking, sometimes I have reactions to cherries, tingling lips, tongue, and swelling throat, yet other times I'm fine. How should I proceed, or is there an alternative overreactive system similar to what Carolina was saying?
So a lot of the times we have allergies because the gut is compromised. So first of all, I would say to test, like a drop or quarter of a teaspoon or a teaspoon. You can test the products and inch your way into it. You can also wait a few days before adding cherry, but the allergies are usually a concern because of a compromised gut. However, with that said, it may be something that you're allergic to. I'm just saying testing it for your case would be good, because you said sometimes you're allergic to it, sometimes you're not. I also would think that if you were thinking about like substituting it or not ordering it, I've done the math on ordering all the products not in the program, or all of the products except for cherry not in the program. And it's like a difference of $10 if you wanted to just not order or pay for the cherry. So I think that what's best is order the program, get on it, try the cherry. If it's not working out for you, then we can adjust your next month, and then you can gift those bottles to somebody in your family or a friend and they're going to have the best sleep of their life. It's a really good gift too. Just reading a comment here from Christina. I had 5 autoimmune conditions and reversed them all. Thyroid test completely normal after 4 years on Purium. Took thyroid regulators as prescribed for 35 years and now a normal thyroid.
Leah's also asking, can Lucy share the specific of what he looked like when she was doing it halfway?
Oh, that's a good question.
Like, how were you doing the program, Lucy? Were you taking 1 shake a day, like halfway?
No, I was doing it like 3 days in a row, and then I stopped because I want to go to breakfast or coffee or have a glass of wine, and then I stopped, and then I did it for like not a week, and then I start again the next week, And then 3 days, oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. You know how we do it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna do it. This time I'm gonna do it. I do it for a week, and then a birthday party, going out to dinner, I stop. And I was doing only one shake. So I was doing it halfway through that everything until I decided and I said, no, I'm gonna do it just like the program said, every day. And that's what happened. But yeah, that's how I did. Yeah, I was doing it that way.
Yeah. And guys, consistency wins at all times. In our body, we've got botanical senses that's really guiding our cravings. It tells us what food is, what medicine is, and what poison is. And if we've got a functional diet, our botanical senses are operating effectively. But when you sort of fall off the cart and you know, go to Chuck E. Cheese's and birthday party and bar and you're essentially now being consistent on the wrong train track, and your botanical senses and the bad bacteria in our gut, the parasites are now running the show because they have their fuel back. And then that's where like you're just flip-flopping back and forth. You're taking 2 steps forward, 1 step back, sort of speak.
And I just want to add, everybody should get a tracker with your ULT box. And that tracker helps you stay in track so you don't fall off the rails like Lucy did. It really does help you. When I use the tracker, sometimes I forgot when I started, when was my 10th, 11th day of the parasite cleanse. The tracker will change your life. What also helped me, it was using my calendar. So if you start on the 1st, then go into your calendar on day 11th to 21st, book it as parasite cleanse. Just like if you were going to go on a vacation, you book it on your calendar. Make sure you book your parasite cleanse timeline. That way you don't get confused. You can even put an alarm. So every morning when you wake up, the alarm pops into your phone. Figuring out ways to stay accountable, it was really the key to do it as designed. So hope that helps for Leah.
And there's also another question. What are some sample dinners people are having when they have 2 shakes a day for breakfast and lunch for maximum benefit? There is a QR code that you can scan in the box. You guys can also just Google Purium recipes and find Google Facebook Purium recipes. And there's a Facebook group with Purium recipes. But honestly, what we recommend is to pay attention to your intuition and eat what your body is calling for. We all inherently have an idea of what eating good is. And if you can clean up your water source and also the quality of your food, like start switching to organic, that's also going to be maximum benefits. But it's not required that you follow any specific diet. It's not dogmatic like that. So you kind of just going to fall in where you've oriented yourself in life on how to eat, which is best for you.
And also there is a page on the Purium Lifestyle Guide that it has a grocery shopping list. It says meal inspirations for every day. So make sure that you open your lifestyle guide. Let me see if I can share my screen right here. So you guys can open your lifestyle guide and screenshot this page because it will help you when you're grocery shopping to prepare your meals. Okay, so here you have protein options, veggie options, complex carbs options, healthy fats and oils, beverages. So look for this guide in your box, and here are the Facebook groups. Okay,
you can
so
screenshot it right now too.
Yeah, you guys can take a screenshot. When I did the program, I saved this photo in my phone and I put it in an album. So every time I went grocery shopping, I make sure that I put at least one of each category in my meal. So one protein, one complex carbs, one veggie, a healthy oil, whether it's an avocado or whatever it might be. Maybe you put in some coconut oil into your meal and then some fruits. So it really helps to have this on your phone. Okay, so you can base your meals on this.
And guys, in closing, we're here every Monday, 5 p.m. Pacific. Reach out to the person that invited you. Come back next week, bring a friend, Keep showing up for your health. Guys, listening to other people talk about their transformations and their success. If you were here last week, amazing shares. It allows you to just stay oriented towards your success. Because a lot of times, if we've lived with something for 25 years or 35 years or even 1 year, we are going to self-sabotage ourselves, thinking like, there's no way this next thing is going to work. You heard from Julie, right? It's trying and trying and trying, and like this was the thing. So hearing other people's successes even just convinces you, even if you're already convinced, right? If you already purchased it, you're already convinced, but there's when those cravings hit, and to keep you disciplined and aligned to just keep on taking the shakes and the capsules and to meet your success, meet your future you, who is everything that you're meant to be. So we're here to walk this with you. And if this is your first time here and you're thinking about getting started, reach out to the person that invited you to get you set up. With that said, everybody, once again, thank you for all being here. We're here for you and you're here for us. It's amazing. It's a cycle of life. All right. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.